Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to give you an update on my pregnancy with baby number 11 and also talk to you a little bit about being pregnant in my 40s. I am 25 weeks pregnant with baby number 11. I'm sitting here waiting for Nessa. She's just had her hair appointment at the puppy salon. I found a place that grooms dogs, small dogs. My friend told me about it for $27. Unbelievable, I love it. And they do the full groom for her, so it's awesome. Anyway, I'm waiting for her to be picked up. Her last groom was done by us at home. She needed professionals. And we're going to make sure, they've been so backed up, like months, scheduling months ahead, so I had to give her a haircut because I waited too long to call. But we're going to schedule her next one when we pick her up today. And I also just dropped Belle off at her last driving class with her driver's ed instructor. She takes her test next, so I'll go pick her up after I get Nessa. But I have a few minutes here and I just wanted to talk to you about what's going on with this pregnancy. Really, everything is going really well. 25 weeks, like I said. My last appointment, there were no issues at all. I couldn't be happier about it. So I wanted to talk to you about a few thoughts I have about being pregnant in my 40s. This is my second time being pregnant in my 40s with Seth, my 1-year-old. I was 40 for the whole pregnancy. This time I am 42 for the whole pregnancy. My birthday's in December. I feel great. I feel like most symptoms are better in pregnancy the older I have gotten and the more kids I've had, which surprised me a lot. It might surprise you too. I'm not quite sure if it's because my tolerance is better with age or maturity or experience, or it's my actual symptoms are better, but I have a feeling it might be my tolerance and my perspective about things and how quickly this season goes and how fast it will be over. For instance, I have had heartburn for every pregnancy, all 11 of them. I would say the first 4, it got consecutively worse each time, but since then it's been about the same. So I used to lose sleep over heartburn. It was a whole thing in my pregnancy life. These days I don't lose any sleep at all. I have a medication that I know works really well for me. After about 20 weeks, maybe 18, depending on how big my stomach is, I start taking it every night when I go to bed, whether I feel like I need it or not. It keeps me from aspirating in the middle of the night, which is something that is very common for me when I have bad heartburn. And so it's just a routine I have. If I need to drink it twice, I do a little bit, like just a swig. If I need it 3 times, then I know I need to prop up my pillows in a certain way that I've always done it, so I'm low enough I can sleep well and high enough that I don't wake up aspirating at all. No heartburn in the night. If I happen to eat too late, which I try not to, then I automatically just sleep in that more sitting up level. It really takes zero thought of mine. I've lost no sleep over it in this pregnancy, except maybe one night when I forgot about having Tums as a backup plan for me at a hotel when we were traveling. That's it. Every other night, it's just something I do, and it's not a big deal at all. It used to be such a big deal to me. I have had a lot of contractions. I have a hyperactive uterus I was diagnosed with my first pregnancy. I've had contractions with every pregnancy all the way through. I hardly notice them now. I also notice that if I'm having them, I tend to go directly to water and drink more water. That helps them, but I don't even feel them that much. I don't know if I'm just used to them or they're calming down. Maybe I don't have them as much, or I just know to drink water and I just don't even think about it. So many things that used to be bothersome to me in pregnancy are just whatever. The nausea in the beginning was the worst. It was so debilitating. I really do think knowing that it ends, whether it ends at 13 weeks or 18 for me, it will come to an end. It just helps me get through it so much better, knowing that I just need to eat what I need to eat to get through it. So I think a lot of it is just experience and perspective on time that helps so many of those things. I'm really used to being pregnant. I have been pregnant off and on throughout our entire marriage. So our son is 17 and we will be married 19 years next month. So it's just kind of part of life, right? One thing that I changed with my last pregnancy that I will sing from the rooftops that has helped me a great deal. I switched doctors because my doctor had quit her practice, but I went to a doctor that is a Catholic doctor, and he's a very practicing Catholic doctor, and he's a very big proponent of not using birth control. I'm not saying that I'm a big proponent of not using birth control, but switching to him, his perspective is that women's bodies were made to have a lot of babies. That's what they desire, that's what God desires for them, and it's normal. That is what's made a huge difference for me, because I don't feel shamed going to the doctor in my 40s, having another baby, having number 11. I have never felt that at all. He has 7 kids himself. The doctors in the practice all have a lot of children that are able to, that I know of. At least one other I know of. And so, it's just a culture in that place. I'm not saying that that culture is like right or wrong for everyone, but it has been such a blessing for me, because you hear the sirens, because I did not like that part of feeling shamed. I'm not sure if you go to your doctor and you're pregnant with your first or second in your 40s, you might not feel that kind of pressure, but I felt it in my late 30s, like from probably 35 on, because I have a lot of children. There were always comments like, well, this is because of your age, and because of your age this, and this because of your age, and this because of your age. And when you hear that just repeatedly, it can just make you feel like you have done something wrong, which I don't believe I've done something wrong. I didn't realize how much I needed a healthcare provider that was encouraging with the decisions we have made. It's sad that they're not all like that, but they truly are not all like that, because I've had 2 now that pressured me a lot to be done, and this doctor would never do that, ever. It has made such a huge difference. I don't dread going to the doctor, and I'm the one that tends to blame things like, well, what about this? You know, is this because of my age? And he'll say, you know, it could be, but I've also seen patients young with that and old with that. So he has offered to me, because of my age, that I could see a specialist and I would go much more frequently and get a lot of ultrasounds, and I have just declined it, and he was totally fine with that. He said, clinically, I don't look like I need it, and I personally know that I don't feel like I need it. So I appreciate that he offered it because of my age, but he did not pressure me at all, and he just said that the offer is on the table. Anytime you feel like you need more care, or you would like a little more checking into things, we are happy to do that and get you set up. So the specialist also, he has 9 children. He was our doctor. I needed a specialist with my first, and he ended up being the doctor that made the decision to deliver us, and he was just having his 9th, and that was his last. So it's really interesting that now I had to see him with Hope as well, but he was the specialist that I would go to. So he also has the same beliefs, and yeah, it's just been a huge, huge, huge blessing and weight off. I love that part, being an older mom with a lot of kids. It really helps to have a doctor that is just there and supportive of my decisions. So in that regard, I do love that. There are 2 huge complaints I have about being an older mom. I've been pregnant a lot of times. Let me tell you, 2 things are very different when you're 42. And one is the weight gain. That's harder, it goes faster, and it's harder to get off afterward. And so I really don't want to gain too much, but I have added a little weight with every baby, then kept a bit of that. I haven't quite lost it all with every baby, especially after my 30s, once I got in my 30s. And then, yeah, it's a lot harder. It's a harder fight to keep from gaining too much, because I know how hard it is to lose. So my last appointment, my doctor said, your weight's fine. You're on track to gain blah, 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 and 15 more pounds, whatever. And I guess it was a little more than that, about 1 pound a week. So, whew, I did not like the number that would equal. And so, I am eating better now. And when I just started eating better, the way I know I should be eating, when I'm eating that way, I feel a lot better, and it does keep my weight from climbing so fast. So right away when I started that, I lost 6 pounds immediately. It was nothing to be concerned about, because I know I was eating not right. I was not eating well. So I've gained a couple of those back since, but I'm trying to do a lot better eating, because I know I have to lose it afterward. At my last appointment, I was 1 pound from the highest I ever get in my pregnancies, and this was at like 23 weeks, so it was way too early. It's like the number I usually see at 40 weeks, so I'm reining that in. Weight gain is definitely more of an issue, and then also fatigue. I feel like every day I'm managing my fatigue levels. I've heard from many of you in my comments that are in your 40s that fatigue is definitely something that's been a big issue for you too, so glad to know I'm not alone. I do find that exercise, most days, exercise helps me a ton. My gym membership was up and I decided to go ahead and stop that since I'll miss a lot of it this next year and not renew that for the year. I have gotten a rowing machine that's coming, but I've been using my treadmill and some weights and an app, fitness app. It's working well for me at home. I've just backed off a little bit on my intensity, but I need that like half hour of sweat just to maintain. I'm not talking about weight at all here. Exercise does not help my weight in my experience. It is truly to feel strong but mostly manage my fatigue. So I just feel a lot better if I sweat and do something really physically active for half an hour a day. It just helps me. I don't know why. It makes all the difference. Otherwise, it is very difficult for me to get off the couch and I don't have time for that. So that's where I'm at. Everything's going great and I'm gonna show you Nessa and maybe Belle. Here is Nessa girl, all cleaned up. You can see her eyes again. She loses her eyes when she needs a haircut, don't ya? Do you lose your eyes? She does have a little goop in one eye, so I gotta figure that out. Maybe call her doctor. Ooh. I think I ended with you a little fast to go get her, but the last thing I wanted to say is I really feel great, especially the days I have energy. I'm almost to my 3rd trimester. It's normal for me to have like a really tired day and then 2 energy days and then really tired day, 2 energy days. If I don't work out right now, I have every single day is really tired day, and that's not gonna work for me. So it'll be interesting as I enter my 3rd trimester if any of that changes, if I'm able to still keep trying to find ways to exercise, keep that energy level up. I certainly need it, but also it's a short season left, so I have very helpful kids when I'm really not feeling it. My husband and my kids they just take over, so that is a big blessing too. All right, this girl is hot. Let's go pick up Belle. Let's go get her. I'll show you a belly shot at the end too. This is Belle. This is Belle. She just finished her last class.
Alright, for driving, driver's ed.
Yep, next time's the test. Woohoo! And she's gonna get my belly shot for me. You used to be in my belly. Look at, you're like 5'10", 5'11". What? Oh,
It's hot.
that pavement.
Yeah.
Okay, here it is in all its glory. This is the hardest part, is getting the shot of the belly.
Amazing footwork. Okay.